So the first thing is, like I said, a reframe of the whole thing. So if you think about a situation in your life in which you feel helpless, where you feel powerless, the frame that you're viewing that from, if you notice, is one in which you say, look, there's a particular outcome that I want or that I'm supposed to have, and I'm unable to get that. You're probably not thinking this consciously, but this is the basic frame that you're probably operating from. There's this thing that I want, I'm unable to get it, unable to have that. And that frame keeps this whole thing stuck. I mean, it doesn't have to, but it does tend to keep the whole thing stuck. So what if we change the frame? And now there are lots of different ways you could reframe this, but I'm going to propose to you one that I think can be really valuable. What if you said, this is a situation that I have not fully understood yet. I'm just pausing so you could try that on. So think of a situation in your life where you feel powerless and just see what happens if you reframe that for yourself as, this is a situation that I have not fully understood yet. Now, it's possible for some of you, you'll be like, oh my goodness, that totally changes everything. I'm not expecting that most of you will have that experience, right? Most of you will be like, oh, yeah, okay. Maybe there's some subtle shift, but I'm not expecting it's going to be, a total instantaneous transformation like the heavens part and angels choirs and kind of thing. Could be very subtle, but just notice that that's actually quite different, because you could probably acknowledge that this is a situation that you don't fully understand, right? I mean, if you fully understood it, then you would be having a different experience, right? Like if it's a money thing, if you're struggling with money, it's like, when it comes to money, I just seem to be powerless. Every once in a while I get a little bit lucky, but like just lucky enough that I'm still here, still eking out my existence. I haven't yet starved to death or frozen to death, but I really have not figured it out enough to know that, oh, there's the lever, pull the lever, get the money. I haven't figured that out yet, right? So it's a situation that you have not yet fully understood. And then you can think about, are there any things in your life that at one time you did not fully understand, and now you do understand them well enough that you have, let's say, sufficient mastery in order to achieve whatever it is you want in that area of your life. Like, and these might seem trivial, but I'm giving what might seem like relatively trivial examples, just because then you'll probably agree that you have gained sufficient understanding in these. So, like, have you learned to ride a bicycle? Now, maybe not all of you have, but many of you, I would think, probably have learned to ride a bicycle. Was there a time in your life when you had not yet fully understood how to ride a bicycle? Well, obviously. So you have examples in your life when you did not yet fully understand something. And of course, had you stopped there, then you would probably never have gotten to the point where you are now, where you have sufficient understanding and mastery to be able to achieve what you are able to achieve in that domain of your life, right? Like, if you had given up on riding a bicycle because you said, I'm incapable of doing it, it will never work for me. I'm not capable, I'm not worth it. I can see other people can do it, but I just seem to be thwarted at every turn. Um, there's no point. Then you would probably not have learned to ride a bicycle. However, if you did learn to ride a bicycle, then you have evidence that there's at least one thing in your life that you did not fully understand, and yet, despite the fact that you did not fully understand it at that time, you understand it well enough now that you're able to ride a bicycle. Now, again, that might seem trivial, but if you start to think about it, I'm sure you come up with lots of examples of things that you did not understand sufficiently well, that now you understand well enough that you're able to get decent results in that area. So if you reframe this in this thing in your life where you feel powerless in that way, then this could really change things, because instead of it being this thing is like, I want this outcome and I'm unable to get the outcome. I'm powerless. It suddenly becomes a different thing. So you're in a way, this is it's creating a larger frame for it in probably multiple ways, but in one way in time, right? So it's not just, well, I can't do it because I'm not having the outcome I want right now, therefore I can't do it. I tried in the past and I didn't get the outcome I wanted, therefore it's impossible. You can create a larger context, a larger time frame, and realize, well, this is a situation I have not yet fully understood. The implication being, well, but I could in the future. Then, when you think about it that way, and you realize that you have lots of examples of things that you at one time did not understand yet, that you do now understand sufficiently well to get the outcomes that you want in regard to those things, then you start to realize, well, if this is like those things, then probably I will be able to resolve this in a way similar to how I resolved other things. So might seem small, but this one change can be really powerful. And notice what this is really doing is it's shifting it to learning.